Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I've always told I had a voice radio, so today I am going to finally be showing you the proper translations for Solgaleo GX and Lunala GX. Now, these were revealed a little while ago. They had a whole bunch of information missing. One piece of information we did not know was missing is that these are not basic Pokemon. We assumed they were, because you know what? All the legendaries have been. These are stage 2s. Cosmog evolves into Cosmion, evolves into Lunala or Solgaleo. Now, this changes a lot about these cards, because if Lunala is a really good basic Psychic Pokemon, we look at a Mega Mewtwo deck and go, right, let's stick one in this deck. But with a Stage 2, you either need minimum one Cosmog, one Cosmion, one Lunala, or one Cosmog, one Rare Candy, one Lunala. Now, if we're playing a Stage 2 let deck, like for instance Incineroar, and we're playing 4 Rare Candy anyway, then we can just put a Cosmog and a Lunala in, and we can just go ahead and use this to evolve up. But if we're not playing Rare Candy anyway, these Pokemon will be very difficult, or at the minimum costly, to put into your deck. They take up a bunch of space. Although we do seem to be going towards things like these Stage 2 GXs and more evolving, so maybe there's going to be a whole bunch of decks where you're playing Rare Candy anyway, and you can pop them in. But let's make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, these cards are not the easy techs we thought they were. Now, they both have 250 HP, this is fantastic and huge, but we know now that this is fairly standard for Stage 2 GXs. So we're going to start off with Lunala, who, as far as I'm concerned, is the weaker of the two. Feel free to argue, that's what the comment section is there for. Now, we knew about the ability before. Switching psychic energy around, this is fantastic. Cards like Aromatisse have always been good. Allowing you to move your energy around means you can play things like Max Potion. You move the energy off, Max Potion, move the energy on, and you get full healing without ever having to lose any of the energy, which you would usually have to. The ability is amazing, but on a Stage 2, are you really going to play a Stage 2 just for this ability? Maybe you will, but Aromatisse saw play because it was a Stage 1, and Golduck Break didn't see play because it was an awkward break Pokemon. Now, the main attack here, Phantom Ray, 120 damage, the defending Pokemon can't be healed during your opponent's next turn. For 4 Psychic Energy, it is not that good. It is absurdly expensive. And this is one of the things which I'm going to say about Lunala, and one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of Lunala. Partly it's a Stage 2, partly it's very, very expensive. Now, in terms of accelerating energy, if you're a fire Pokemon, we can go ahead and use Volcanion. If you're an electric Pokemon, we can go ahead and use Magnezone. If you use electric or grass energy in the upcoming Pokémon Sun and Moon set, we're going to be able to use Vikavolt. But Psychic, we don't have a lot. Now, what we do have is we have Lurantis. Now, Lurantis is the new Grass-type GX. I've done a video, link in the description. Lurantis just allows you to attach 2 basic energy from your discard pile. Now, this will help here, but 4 energy for 120? Now, stopping healing can be quite good, no Max Potion, etc., but there isn't all that much healing. Now, of course, 120 is good. It will one-hit KO things like Mega Mewtwo, but you know what? That's been declining in popularity at the moment. The GX attack, Lunar Fall, knock out one of your opponent's basic Pokemon that isn't a GX. Now, as long as EXs are big, this is absurdly good. KO a Hooper on the bench. Remember, Hooper's weak to Psychic, so will be KO'd by Phantom Ray. KO a Shaman on the bench. In fact, KO any EX Pokemon as long as it hasn't Mega Evolved. But for free energy is still quite... Now, don't get me wrong. Free energy for an auto KO is really good. But the problem is, it's free energy, and then what else do you do with Lunala? Attach a 4th and hit for 120? Now, I'm not being ungrateful here, ladies and gentlemen. attaching free energy and getting an instant one-hit KO, often for 2 prizes, is of course a very good attack. But on a stage 2 without a good backup attack, that basically means Lunala sits on the bench and takes your extra energy attachments. You attack with Lurantis while attaching to Lunala, or you attack with something else and Lunala gets the energy attachments you can spare throughout the game. Not a huge fan. Oh yeah, and by the way, it's weak to Dark, and Dark is a very good typing at the moment. Darkrai and Yveltal EX and just Yveltal and Zoroark. We have good Dark Pokemon at the moment. Now, the resistance to fighting is always good. I think Zygarde might make a bit of a comeback in the near future. But bad weakness, expensive attacks, Stage 2, I know it's got 250 HP. I know it can instantly one-hit KO any basic Pokemon. But I'm not loving it. Now, if you can accelerate Psychic Energy, and you're playing Rare Candy anyway, then my opinion of this changes quite a bit. But I'm sorry, I know we all want to look at the GX attack and go, oh my god, instant one-hit KO, although the format is moving away from basics, so as we move away from EXs, this attack will get worse and worse. And I know we all want to look at the ability, which is sick, there's no way around it. It doesn't have a good non-GX attack, and it's a stage 2, and it's got a bad weakness. Now, the one I like a lot more is Solgaleo GX. Now, again, it's a stage 2, that is bad. Again, it's got a really good ability, it's a switch. A free switch every turn. We've all had many, many, many turns where we really needed a switch. Solgaleo will do it. We've all played or played against people who were playing Zoroark, a stage 1 and a floatstone just to switch the active Pokemon. So I get it, ladies and gentlemen. This is awesome. Now, the GX attack, I am in love with this GX attack. And Joe, if you're watching, Joe, me and Joe had a bit of an argument. I said this was going to be a single energy attack. Joe said it was going to be a free energy attack. Now, in Joe's defense, he didn't know it was going to be a stage 2. But I was right. In your face, Joe. 1 metal energy, search your deck for up to 5 energy cards, and that is energy cards, not energy, so double colourless and double dragon count. It's energy cards, not basic, so strong energy totally counts here. You can get 4 strong energy and a double colourless out in one go. I am in love with this GX attack. You can instantly just set up a Snorlax GX with his, you can go and get 4 double colourless out on the first, second turn of the game when you rare candy. But you can go first, turn 2, rare candy, Solgaleo, and then use this as your first attack of the game. And you know what? It's got a much better attack as well. 2 metal and a colourless. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. But it does 230. Now, Pokemon love doing just not enough for the KO, but of course we have Giovanni's Scheme, which will put it up to 250, which will be one-hit KOing stage 2 GXs, or even something like a Wailord EX, and they are the gold standard of HP at the moment. Now, this is not a GX attack. For those that don't remember or are a bit new, GX attacks are 1 per game. So if I use my Soul Burst GX, not only can I not use that again, but I cannot use a different GX attack during this game. But then I've got another attack which should be a one-hit KO on anything, and yeah, I have to discard the energy, but there is a huge difference between free energy and 4 energy, and there is a huge difference between a one-hit KO and a 2-hit KO. And you know what? If I'm using Solgaleo free energy for a one-hit KO, that's an awful lot better than Lunala's 4 energy for a 2-hit KO. But again, we run into the same problem here of getting energy out. Now again, Lurantis jumps out as an obvious partner here, but the thing that Solgaleo has is partly Soul Burst GX, so you can go ahead and set up other attackers with the GX, and then use Sunsteel Strike, so when he goes down, you've got all your other attackers set up. It's not just the GX attack. You've got the GX attack and you've got the good attack, and the GX attack sets up the others. It's not like on Lunala where you attach free energy for the GX and then you can attach another for a terrible attack. Good attack and you set up the others. But in Expanded, we can go ahead and use Bronzong here, attach a metal energy from your discard to one of your benched Pokemon. Now we are rolling, ladies and gentlemen, because now we can go ahead and use these attacks more and more often. We can really take advantage of this, and that is really, really good. We can just keep using Bronzong to attach to our bench Pokemon and then get to a stage where we can just keep using our Solgaleo to get one-hit KO after one-hit KO. Now, being a stage 2, these decks are kind of awkward. There's no Max Elixir. Now, you can use Max Elixir, but only on Cosmog, and that's a little bit awkward. They're not Mega, so we've got no Mega Turbo here. These are not Pokemon that are really easy to accelerate energy to, and that makes me sad. Now, I should mention his weakness to fire is not amazing. Volcanion is a thing at the moment, and I'm a big fan of Incineroar. I think this weakness could turn out to be a not brilliant one. Resistance to Psychic is always good, of course, because resistance is just, well, always good. Certainly makes it more difficult for something like a Mega Mewtwo to hit the requisite number of energy, although your 250 HP will do that quite nicely. So to sum up, not a fan of Lunala. Awesome ability, awesome GX attack, but too expensive and no good backup, and it's a stage 2. Solgaleo is not the powerhouse I was hoping he was going to be, but free energy to essentially one-hit KO anything, an amazing GX attack for a single energy, and a good ability. I quite like it. And we've got some really good metal Pokemon around at the moment. I'm a good fan of Cobalion, for instance, and Scizor and Mega Scizor are pretty good, so I do see a situation where these can be used. One thing you could use with these Pokemon is just EXP share, have them on the bench, have them hoover up energy from your Pokemon when they get KO'd, and then go and smash. Make no mistake about it, these cards are good. I'm not saying Lunala isn't good, and I'm not saying Lunala won't see play. I'm saying it's underwhelming compared to what we thought it was going to be, and I am much more excited to use GXs like Incineroar and Lurantis than I am to go ahead and use Lunala. Solgaleo I like a lot more, but I'm still not as overwhelmed as I thought I would be. But in Expanded with Bronzong, or if we can ever accelerate Metal Energy consistently in Standard, Solgaleo could be a beast. If nothing else, getting 5 energy, including special, from your deck to attach to any of your Pokemon for 1 energy, even on a 2-prize Pokemon, even on a Pokemon that gives up 2 prizes, that attack is amazing. Now, there is a comment section. Let me know what you think about these Pokemon. I have now uploaded 2 videos in the space of 24 hours again, so make sure you check out my Salamence video as well. Make sure you keep giving me that enthusiasm to upload multiple times in a day if the news cycle calls for it. Make sure you click that like button, make sure you subscribe, and of course the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. You can follow me on Twitter @TheWassy, and I would suggest you do so. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.